They asked me, you want to be an American Idol? I'm like, no.
Hello, MuchMusic. It's Julia Tocheri here. We're at Rockin' Horse Saloon, and I'm so excited to be joined by Dillon James. It's new hot Nashville night. How's it going?
I'm doing so good. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. It's your first time in Canada. I'm just learning that.
First time in Canada.
What are your first impressions?
I love it. I love it. I loved the little, what is it called, Timbits I just ate.
Oh,
Those
okay,
are good.
okay.
I just got back from New York too, so it kind of has that vibe, but it's its own thing. I want to walk the edge of the needle. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, the CN Tower. You want to do the edge walk?
I don't want to do it. Someone told me that you can do it, and I'm going to force myself to if I'm ever here again or if I have time this time. I just want to. They have that thing, what is it in Vegas called the Stratosphere?
Yeah.
And I did that one, but it was just a ride that went off the edge real quick and came back. And when we were driving in the Uber last night, they're like, have you ever seen that? I'm like, no. He's like, you can walk around it. That'd be pretty cool.
Something's telling me you're kind of an adrenaline guy.
I used to be all about it. Now as I'm getting older and more responsibility, not so much.
Yeah.
But they said there was weddings up there, and I told the last person I just interviewed with, they were like, I said, maybe we do an interview up there hanging off the edge. That'd be pretty cool.
We'd be in like the jumpsuits and stuff?
Yeah, or me fainting in it. Because I probably would pass out. But
Not a huge
and it'd be
guy.
on camera too.
So you've been writing new music. I know you write a lot about your life and what you've been through. Is the new music kind of along that same lines?
I think all of my music in some way or another is reflective of my life. Even sometimes when I'm like, I need to write some imaginary thing, it always comes back to something that I've been through because I can't write about much that I don't know about.
Yeah.
And so I just try to do it. Lately I've been trying to do it in a way where people can relate to it and find something in themselves out of what I've been through, but not cornering them off like, oh, this is what you need to do to be like me. And I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to be honest. It's been a lot of full circle moments for me in my life, coming from where I'm coming from to being where I'm at now, from California to Nashville, Canada, and going different places I've never been and doing what I really thought I'd never get to do, which is play music and do it in a way where I'm not afraid to tell my story. Honestly, it's like having it's like a blanket almost. My music is that blanket for me to talk through where I don't have to be like, oh, this is what happened. You know, I'm at a place in my life where I'm really proud of who I am, and so I think that will shine through the songs, and hopefully people who think no one's listening, they listen to those and they can relate to them, you know. I was on American Idol a few years ago, and I just remember like this opportunity came for me to get on this show, and I was like, they asked me, you want to be an American Idol? I'm like, no, I just want to be, I'm probably the American don't do what I did, but if you'll let me have the chance to go and tell my story, I don't care if it's just one person, if I help anybody, then it'll be awesome for me, because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was coming from the ground up.
So when you're starting at the ground up, you really feel like you're starting at rock bottom. Where do you start?
Standing up, picking your head up, and just realizing that, for me, this is personally for me, I mean, honestly, everyone has a different place where they start. Everyone's journey is different, but for me, it was just realizing what I didn't like about myself. 100% honest, looking myself in the mirror and saying, I don't really like you, and I want to like you, you know?
Yeah.
I want to be proud of this cat that, you know, now that I look at myself sometimes in the mirror, I'm like, man, it's been a long journey looking at that same face, but the face has changed.
So how has your songwriting kind of evolved as that face has changed?
Whenever I started writing music, my music was all over the place. I didn't really have a genre. I didn't even write about, I was just writing about anything. And as I slowly was growing up and going through more things that shifted me into who I am right now, my music has evolved completely, because now it's not just let's go and write a song. It's more so, how can I use what I went through that was almost, it almost took me out. So I always think like, all right, every day, one day at a time, I'm gonna do this for the right reasons. The music is always gonna shift. I always think about like my favorite artists when I was growing up. The first record I always loved, and then the second record was different, and the third record keeps growing, you know? Everyone changes.
All right, just wanna ask you like some Canadian questions for the end that we'll
fire
get together.
away.
I know
I gotta sit up for this
Bakersfield.
one.
Bakersfield is a hockey team, weirdly enough. Do you know anything about hockey? Are you into hockey?
I don't know a lot about hockey, but I know the Bakersfield hockey team.
Okay. Jack Campbell's down there right now, the Oilers goalie.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what that means a ton to you.
No, it doesn't, but I found out that the place that I just had those little donut holes from,
Timbits, yeah.
He was a hockey player too, right?
Isn't that hilarious? Like
Yeah.
Tim Hortons is so Canadian, and then you find out the guy was a freaking hockey player.
Yeah.
Like, does he get more Canadian than that?
No, but honestly, it was funny. Someone asked me, "What are you excited about?" And I said, "That place, Tom's." Tom Hortons. They're like, "No, it's Tim Hortons." So now I've got to check that off the list. and
That's awesome.
It's been cool.
Is there any other Canadian bucket list things that you want to check out?
As I learn, I mean, like, everywhere I go, there's something new that I want to do or see.
Okay.
But I think the tower, is my first go.
Yeah, it's cool. But the weird part is you go up there and the best view that you normally see when you're looking at Toronto is the CN Tower. So to be in it, it's kind of like
Yeah.
a bunch of weird buildings after that.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Tonight's going to be awesome. I appreciate the time so much.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much.
And
Thank
enjoy.
you guys.